This is the Flying Dream Extra 330L EP electric powered. Has a wingspan of 1350 millimeters. That's about, I think, 53 inches, something like that. This is about the size of a typical 40 size nitro airplane, but it's specifically designed only for electric flight. I've taken the fuselage out, and underneath here we have the horizontal stab, and that's taped in here so it doesn't wander around. Okay, underneath there is the pipe to hold the wings together, it looks like a carbon fiber or fiberglass tube for the elevator, some rods and so forth. And over here we've got the wings. Looks pretty cool. Nice coloring there. Looks like it's actually painted on. And then we have the rudder. And we've got a manual here. Hardware bag. And then the wheel pants. Sometimes on the big grass fields, you don't always put the wheel pants on. I typically don't, but those wheel pants look really neat. One thing about this kit is that it's got plywood in it, it's got balsa, and I don't yet see any styrofoam. Maybe the ailerons are styrofoam, but this is predominantly a plastic covering, like a pressure formed plastic covering over the, there's balsa in there, and the plywood for the wing. Okay. Since this is electric powered, you don't have to really worry about the painting and nitro spilling on it and so forth. One of the interesting things here, since it's designed for electric power, is it's got these latches on the front to open up the top, and it's got a little latch on the back here, mechanical latch, and the inside is totally exposed. So you put your electric motor right here. It's got a typical already drilled out for a motor mount. So you put your motor right there, and your battery, and then your rudder servo and elevator servo in there. And so it's designed specifically for electric flight, and what's really cool is that once you take off that top hatch, everything is totally accessible on the inside. And like I said, this is a plastic mold that goes around these plywood frames inside. Okay. One thing I just noticed about this aileron is that it's totally sealed. Okay. A lot of the top aerobatic pilots talk about sealing your hinges, and in the case of the ailerons, okay, it's all sealed and already done for you. Okay, so there's no air that's going to seep in there. That's really interesting. The manual is not too bad. Maybe there's some mistakes in terms of the choice of English words that they've used. Something really interesting here is in terms of the way that you put the servos in. It already comes with these plastic pieces here to go and cover where the servo goes. And so this is all mounted in one piece, so we'll have to drill holes here to mount the servos. That's really cool. And one of the things that I think I like over some other kits that I've gotten for the inexpensive ARFs is that it shows you the rod, okay, for the elevator, and it actually gives you the length in there. So we'll have to give that a test and see if that actually measures out to be what it should be. So I'm going to look through this kit some more, and then I'll get the building, and we'll see how it goes after get some building time in here. Just wanted to mention that the covering on this it actually has balsa on the wings. So this is balsa, and then it has a plastic covering that goes over. It's a little bit thicker than the typical kind of plastic. I should say the typical kind of film that you see. Okay, and I guess the advantage of that is it's a little bit more rugged. The disadvantage is it probably adds a little more weight to it. Who knows exactly how much. But there is balsa on the inside of that for the wing. One thing I like to do is I like to beef up my ARF kits just a little bit. And one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some little gusset blocks in here, probably just balsa, and use some epoxy or something like that, just to beef that up, just add a little bit more strength in there. That shouldn't be too bad. So here's my finished layout for the Extra 330 EP, the Flying Dream. And I originally started off with a Turnigi motor, and I didn't like it. Had some vibes as I spun it up, so I've replaced it here with a Monster Power 61. This airplane really probably would do fine with a 46. It just so happens that I'm running on 6 cell, and I needed the right kV, the right RPM per volt for my 6 volt. So I ended up putting a larger Monster Power 61 on there just to get the right RPM. I didn't want to over rev the 46 motor with a 6 cell pack. I picked the 6 cell pack not only because it fit in there, but because I'm using that on a 500 size helicopter. So this setup that I have here is a bit overpowered. It's a little bit heavier. If you want a lighter weight, then you probably should be targeting a 46 motor with that and appropriate prop. A good place to ask questions is on the RC Universe forum. There's a sub-forum there under ARF planes for nitro models. There's a lot of knowledgeable people there. There are other people who have this airplane who can answer questions, but here's my basic layout. I got the speed controller in there, and then I've got a BEC battery eliminator circuit. The speed controller doesn't have one, so I've got a separate one in there designed for 6S. You have to make sure that your BEC is designed for the number of cells that you're going to have. Then I've got the EXI servos here on the rudder, and then also on the elevator. I had to add some extensions for the throttle and the BEC to go back to my receiver. I got a trusty old Futaba FM receiver, and then I chose to run a Y connector for the two elevator the two aileron servos in there. You can run the aileron servos into separate channels and mix them. I just elected to go for a Y. So that's the layout that I have on the inside of my Extra 330.